to the other big story overseas. Exactly 4 weeks into the bombing campaign against ISIS, the United States is still facing a tough fight on two fronts now. Over the weekend, the U.S. dropped weapons, ammunition, and medical supplies to help Kurdish forces near Kobani, Syria. Turkey opposed the move out of fear those weapons could get to Kurds that oppose the government in Turkey. But this morning, Secretary of State John Kerry tried to ease concerns by saying it is not a shift in policy by the United States. It is crisis moment and emergency. Meanwhile, the United States has been launching airstrikes repeatedly in and around Kobani to help the Kurds fend off ISIS. In fact, over the last week, U.S. air power has been largely confined to that one city. Nearly 3 times as many strikes have targeted Kobani than all of Iraq combined. It's an interesting shift for the United States, which indicated just last week that Kobani was not as much of a priority as Iraq. But while the Kurds have gained some ground in Kobani, the situation in Iraq has gotten worse. ISIS now controls about 80% of the western Anbar province, seizing another major military base last week, and they've managed to infiltrate Baghdad, setting off bombs that killed dozens of people in Shiite neighborhoods in recent days. This is what Pentagon spokesman Rear Admiral John Kirby said earlier on Morning Joe.
It should come as no surprise that they're threatening Baghdad. That said, we do not assess that Baghdad is under imminent threat right now. There's no masses of formations of ISIL fighters around the capital, and the Iraqi security forces are doing a good job stiffening their defenses around the city.
Joining me now, retired Army 4-star General Barry McCaffrey, MSNBC military analyst. General, let's start there. How concerned are you about the momentum that ISIS has gained in Iraq?
Well, I think the commander, our joint commander, General Lloyd Austin, is using Kobani to almost attract as a magnet these ISIS fighters. U.S. air power has been extremely effective. The airdrop was a dramatic new change. You get in there with 27 bundles of weapons, ammunition, and medical supplies. So I imagine that ISIS is not doing nearly as well, given the siege of Kobani, as they might expect to. But the Iraqi armed forces are defunct. They're not doing very well at all. 25% of them ran for it and have disappeared. They're viewed as a Shiite oppressive regime by the Sunni population, which is why ISIS is doing so well in the western part of Iraq.
Let's go back to Kobani here for a second, because it sounds like you think that we should be okay there, that we're going to be able to hold Kobani. Is that accurate?
Well, I don't know if we're going to be able to hold it. Things have been looking much more positive in recent days. What I do think is that it's attracted ISIS fighters from all over Iraq and Syria. They view it as a huge prize to be won, so they're massing where U.S. air power can get at them. And the Kurds have been extremely effective, Kurdish PKK forces, in defending the city. Most of the population's fled. A couple 100,000 have gone back into Turkey. And now perhaps the Turks are relenting and allowing more Kurdish reinforcements across their own border. I think it's being a very destructive impact on ISIS capability as they mass around Kobani and U.S. air gets after them.
Arab League said over the weekend that more needs to be done to fight ISIS. Do you think we can expect more help from Arab nations now?
No, not really. You know, some of the attempt to find the so-called moderate Syrian opposition is probably nonsense. That train left the station a couple, 3 years ago. The dilemma the administration faces is almost unsolvable. Assad has murdered 200,000 people. He was the target. The principal enemy to Assad are Sunni Muslim fighters, of which the most effective are al-Nusra and this terrible ISIS crew. So I'm not sure there's any good way out of this.
And General McCaffrey, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you, sir.